Welcome back. I'm the New York City gardener. Today, I don't have a whole lot of time, but I do want to get a couple of things done. I got a fig tree at Home Depot, so I want to get that potted up today. I already have it planned what kind of soil I'm using and which container. And then I also bought a goji berry plant. I'm very excited about that. So I want to get that potted up and ready for the year. And then I'll give you a quick little tour of what's going on within the garden. Okay, so let's start with the fig tree. This is a fig tree that I got from Home Depot. It's only $12. It is a zone 7, so that means I have to bring this inside in the winter, which is, not ideal because I don't have a lot of indoor space. I already have my lemon tree in this same planter, and what I like about it is that it's nice and tall and vertical, so it doesn't take up a lot of floor space. So I think what I'm going to do is when we get to the winter, I'll bring this inside and I'll just store it next to my lemon tree. Last year I grew tomatoes in here, so I'm assuming the soil is semi-depleted. I'm going to be using gypsum, general fertilizer. There's a little bit of a high nitrogen level there, some mushroom compost, and some worm castings. Also, last minute, I decided I'm going to add some azomite because I'm thinking that it might need trace minerals in the future. So I feel like just getting it in there now. And I just have a little bit left, so we might as well use it. Definitely gonna need to buy more. Yeah, the soil feels nice and loose, which is great. I was a little bit worried about it being compact, but it's great. It feels really good. So now I'm just gonna top it off with some mushroom compost and worm castings. Same thing, I'm gonna try to get it mixed up so it's kind of evenly distributed, at least among the top of it here. And I can always add more. There's still a lot of good space here. You can see how nice and loose the soil feels, and it's getting all mixed up in there, which is great. I still have some height here, so I can always add more later. Kind of like leaving a little bit of space there. So I'm just gonna make a nice little hole here for the plant. There we go. Wow. Look at those roots. It definitely is ready to be planted into something bigger. That is crazy. Okay, so this is a little bit bigger than I thought. I'm gonna make a bigger hole here. Okay, I think that looks nice and centered. Part of me thinks I should dig a little bit deeper of a hole. I'm gonna do it. All right, that's looking a little bit better. All right, hey, I'm happy with it. I think it looks great. I like the height. This will also settle as time passes. Still have a little bit of that space here where I can add worm castings or anything on top. I know it doesn't look very exciting right now, but bring on the figs. Now that I got that done, I'm gonna move on to the goji berry. I'm kind of running out of soil amendments. I really need to buy more stuff, but I'm thinking the goji berry doesn't really need that much stuff. So I think I can make do with what I have. Going to be using 10-gallon mesh bag. I have my goji berry, just regular compost, tiny bit of worm castings left, fertilizer, gypsum, and then I may just top it off with this. And then this is potting soil that I've had that I was using last year. So that'll be the main base. Let's get that in there first, which is gonna be a bit more difficult because it's heavy. Soil actually looks pretty good. A nice little thing of fertilizer in here. Gypsum. If I had trace minerals, I would do it, but we just used the last of those. But I can always add that another time. Now, mix that up a little bit. Also, it's so great with the handles. It's just like so much easier to move around and things like that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of this in here now. So it'll be towards the middle. Definitely gotta buy more. Okay, I'm gonna add more of this. You can see how good the drainage is on this container. There was like a little bit of water in this soil, and you can see how well it drains. It's another reason that I really like these mesh bags. Good with drainage, sturdy, affordable. I like the black because then, you can't really see like if they get dirty or so many good things, like especially if you're on a budget where you don't want to spend a bunch of money on meat. Planters are expensive. So I got 10 of this size, 10 of the 20-gallon, 25-gallon. I think the whole thing was like less than $100. Okay, I think this looks pretty good. We have a nice Mixture is nice aeration in there. Soil feels really good. Could definitely fill it out more, but I think for now, since I don't have a ton of soil, I'm just gonna leave it like this. Plant is ready for some space. Nice, right in the middle. So my blackberry bush, oh my God, I just noticed that it has some leaves there. Oh my God, spring is springing up. Let's go. So you can see it's a bit wild right now, and it's in way too small of a pot. I'm gonna be planting it in one of those bigger bags. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do the 20 or the 25 gallon, but it definitely is gonna need that space. Also, this is one of my raspberry. It is out of control. I should get so many raspberries. Wow. And look, we're seeing a little bit of life coming through. This is arugula. These are all arugula on this side. Oh yeah, we have cilantro there. We have black-seeded Simpson. So that must be the black-seeded Simpson coming through. Yeah, because I sprinkled those all over here. We have a little bit of clover. Try to keep the clover kind of minimal because it will take over, but you know, you can also eat it. This planter is a bit unusual because it had garlic chives going crazy in here, and I actually don't want those garlic chives growing, but they all seeded themselves last year when I was on vacation, so I'm just like slowly cutting them back. But I do have a lot of, looks like Johnny jump ups coming through there, and those should be my kohlrabi, so we'll see how that works. Yeah, things are looking good though. I'm looking at this planter and I'm noticing these bigger seedlings, and I think those are borage seeds that reseeded themselves. I did have a huge borage plant in here last year. That's what I'm thinking, because those do not look like cilantro. Those do not look like lettuce. I did not plant that many sunflowers here, so I think that's what that is. If it is, then I'll transplant those into other pots, other containers, but I'll give them some time to get set up. Wow, I see my first little pea plant coming through. Wow, looks so cute. I cannot believe it. Amazing. How adorable is that? Garlic is looking good. Everything's looking good in this planter. And then I had also planted some spinach, so it looks like those are kind of popping up here and there. That one, all these little babies, probably the spinach. Okay, so I think that's enough for today. Running out of time, have some other things to get done, but I'm happy with everything that I accomplished today.